This right here is my office. There's the dashboard. It tells us how fast we're going. It tells how far the car's traveled, oil pressure, coolant temperature, fuel gauge, and how the battery's doing. Got light switches and things over there. There's a microphone for the few times I have to get on with the office. I usually call them on my cell phone because it works better. There is the meter. The meter is, it's 9:30, that's the time, but to, you know, to turn the meter on, we just hit it like that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, shit. There we are, $2.85. That's the beginning of your fare. It's going $2.95, and it's going to keep on going. Below that is the mobile data terminal, which it's got me off right now because I just had a fare, which I don't really. So we shut the fare off and total it, and there, that's back to the time. And this should give me a position now. That's my position. I'm second and 12. I'm about to move into 62 now, so I'll just book 62 and send it. And it should say something in 62 really soon, hopefully. There we are, first in 62. We have heating, ventilation, air conditioning system in there. Hard to see a little bit. Got my trash down there from my lunch. We got a really bright light there for seeing what's going on. There's a fair I have to go to, so I'm on my way there. Down there, way down there, is the radio, without which there would be no contact with the outside world, and without which I couldn't get any calls. My office also has a debit machine. This is where people can pay with their credit cards or with their debit cards. What else is the office? Everything outside. Everything outside is part of my office. So, there you have it. That's my office. Taxi vlog number 26. I didn't think I'd be making one of these so soon, but I never did mention how it is that I get paid. Now, you know, it's typical, you know, the fare is like $8 or $9, you give me a tenner and go away. Fare is $22, you give me 25, a 20 and a 5, or 2 10s and a 5, or something like that. You go away. How about, let's book on. Okay, I'll let you do it. Yeah, it's like $12, you give me 5 toonies and 7 loonies. That's if you're really cheap. And yeah, you know, there are some people who, you know, the fare is $6.65 and they give me a 10 and they require $3.35 change exactly. Those are the really cheap ones. I don't mind that. I get enough cheap ones, I still have a good night. It's the ones that don't give me the whole thing. It's like $6.25, all I got's 5. Okay, 5. Fine. Goodbye. Hope I never see you again. But the society is becoming more and more cashless with time. About 8 years ago, we were hit with a new thing. It's called a debit machine. I have one right here. This is a debit machine. These people can't drive. Anyway, I have a debit machine. Now, we first got these back in 1999, and they were about that big, and they were really clunky. They work on the same network as the cell phones do, and if you can't get a signal, you don't get paid. And the first ones that we had didn't work 60% of the time because we were hooked up to a really clunky cell phone network. I won't tell you whose it was, but it was clunky. So we went on, and about 4 years ago we got a new one, which was smaller and worked better, but the money would go directly into the taxi company's bank account. And more recently, some of the owners of in the taxi fleet, it's a co-op, you know, all the cars are individually owned and operated, and the owners were getting ripped off by the management who were using the money for something other than going to the owners of the cabs. So what they did was they got this one. This is only recent. We only had it about 3 or 4 weeks, and it makes the money go directly into the account of the owner of the taxi. So the owner of the taxi owns this machine. It goes directly into his bank account. Now, the way it works is you have a debit card, and you give it to me. You know, it's at the end of your ride. You take a card like this one here. I think I have one. Yeah, you take a card like this one here, and you pay with that. So what I do is I swipe it through the little slot on the side here, and then I put the amount in there, and then I hand it to the customer, who can punch in a tip amount or not, and put his 4 or 5 or 6 digit PIN or personal identity number code in there, and they send it. The money gets transferred directly from the bank account or credit card of the cardholder into the bank account belonging to the cab owner. Very good, you say, don't you? Well, it's good, yes, in that it's really convenient for the cab owner. He gets paid right away. And it's really convenient for the customer, who doesn't need to carry cash. There are some downsides. See, I pay a lease on this car to drive it. So like tonight, it's a Monday night, it's going to be a cheap lease. It's going to be $62. Not bad. I make $62, give $62 to the owner at the end of my shift, pocket all the rest. Great. I pocket all the rest. Now, if I have Interac slips or debit machine slips that total less than the lease of the car, that's great. They total less than the lease of the car. I give them all the slips, say it's $55, $55 worth of slips. I owe him $7 cash. Great. I owe him $7 cash. I put the slips in the envelope. I put the $7 cash in the envelope. Goodbye, that's it. I walk away. Park the car. Don't worry about it. But what happens if, like, let's say I have $122 of Interac slips? Those $122 are $122 of money that went directly into the bank account of the owner of the car. I'm out $60. I have to go to the owner and get him to pay me the $60, or I can use that $60 and redeem it for a future lease on the taxi. What if my rent's due tomorrow, and from the last couple of weeks I have accumulated $225 worth of Interac slips, and the owner's out of town? I'm about $150 short on my rent. Well, too bad, so sad. It goes into my overdraft protection on my bank account, and I have to pay interest on that. And if you're paying with Interac and you expect me to give you cash back on that, forget it. I'm not a bank. Not good. I'll tell you a little story about the Interac machine. This one time